We are fast approaching press time for the first edition of tomorrow morning's paper. This printer has just finished makeup of a page. In the next 56 minutes, all pages must be finished and recorded to meet the edition deadline of 9 p.m. But tonight's deadline is special. This New York Times mirror image in lead of tomorrow's dateline reads backwards as Sunday, July 2nd, 1978. It marks the last day of an age-old method of printing in this composing room. What you are now witnessing will exist after tonight only as a filmed historic record, for the century of the linotype machine is nearing its end. Using 535-degree molten lead, it sets solid lines of type called hot type, cast in newspaper column widths. Now cooled, a printer's hands prepare the lines for insertion into a column of the page. Headlines are still set by hand with type stored in traditional California cases and in time-worn Ludlow cabinets. By morning, relics of the past. Letter by letter, the printer forms the words in his composing stick in the same way that Gutenberg, the first printer of the Western world, did more than 5 centuries ago. Brass molds of letters are assembled in a different composing stick, also for headlines. Inside this Ludlow machine, which was invented a quarter of a century after the linotype, they will be cast from liquid lead to form a solid slug of type. By tomorrow, this Ludlow, too, will be a museum piece. These steel tables for page makeup are called printer's stones. They have been gradually abandoned over the past months. A radical changeover has taken place, for a new era of computerized, electronic, automated, and cold-type photo technology has begun. It started in the brightly lit area beyond these 2 dark hulks of discarded linotype machines. Now lined up for shipment, they have been the old reliables here for decades. Tonight, 60 of the once 140 linotypes, the largest battery of any newspaper in the world, are on their final stint. Before the rush to edition time, a makeup man spoke to us about this machine.
You know, 100 years ago, a man named Ottmar Mergenthaler invented a machine called a linotype. Now, it's not a machine that's well known by most people, but I find that it was the automation of its day. The only thing is, I think it was the machine that made mass education possible. It brought the price of books within the range of the average working person. This is the machine over here, and it's practically unchanged in 100 years. I feel if old man Mergenthaler came back, he could probably go over to that machine, sit down and set up a couple of galleys of type without any problems at all. If there were any problems as far as fixing the machine, I'm sure he could get up and fix it. But that's how long that machine has lasted, 100 years.
It all begins with this machine. Really, 3 machines in one. Assembly, casting, and redistribution. In this portion of the machine, we keep these brass mattresses, which have a letter punched into their edge. In this case, the letter M. When I press a key, these mattresses will fall along this gravity chute and into the assembler. If I press this M, you'll see that M come down. There it is. Now, when I want to space a word, I'll drop in a space band, which is a steel wedge. It slides up and down and spreads the line to the exact size that I want in a column, so that every line is exactly equal to the other in width. When we send a line into the casting machine, this is what happens. If we take these mattresses
they'll come down and face against this steel mold. Hot metal, molten lead, will be poured into that steel mold. This mattress will be faced against here with the mold of the mattress against the top. The lead will harden and pick up the image from the inside of this mold and this mattress. It will turn around through here, it will harden, it will be trimmed, and it will be ejected right here. Now let's watch a line go in. This one's just about ready. It's going across now. The bands are spreading the line out now. The line is being pumped in. The hot lead is hardening now. It's being trimmed. And here's your new line of type.
But the real machine is in the back. It was a watchmaker who invented it. This uniquely shaped, eccentric cam is the heart of his entire system. As it rotates, it programs all the intricate operations of this automatic producer of type for the composing of the paper. It makes the linotype machine run like a huge wound-up clock, ticking with perfect precision.
In the meantime, these mattresses have been redistributed and transferred into those magazines, and we can use them again and again. This story is about finished now. We can take it over to the bank, get a galley proof, send it into the proofroom for proofreading, and when we're finished with that, we'll take the type and put it either on a correction bank or maybe directly into the page and wait for the corrections.
These latest machines, without keyboards, have built-in teletypesetter units. Instead of fingers on keys, perforated tape does the work, like the old music roll in a player piano. This enables one person to monitor 3 machines at once. A solid bar or pig of lead is lowered into the melting pot to refill it for casting. Sign language is used among the paper's many deaf printers. Instead of 3 lines a minute, the old manual way, each machine now sets 14 lines a minute. It's as far as mechanical automation could go in the pre-electronic age. Lines of type and picture cuts are made up into full-page forms, guided by editors' layout sheets.
Where does this thing go?
I think it's the wrong, that should be 8 and a half.
All right, look. You want to make a box out of it?
Yeah, stick it up in here somewhere. We all done here?
Yeah, that was all I got. You want to push it around? Or do you want to end here?
We'll stick the box down in here.
You want to make a box out of it and then turn this?
Yeah.
The closest cooperation is needed between the page editor and the makeup.
I got it turn. I got to get it back in.
Together, they almost talk the type into the page form, coax it, cajole it, to make it fit as they work against the clock.
Put a line back on price.
Okay.
Everyone is aware of the time.
I know if I let this page go.
Only 40 minutes are left to the 9 o'clock first edition deadline.
Anything else, Barbara, here?
We're gonna get,
From now on, a page a minute, 40 more pages must be completed. Locked up in these page forms and readied for the presses. Metal engravings like these are cut down to size and precisely trimmed. The cuts will print up as the drawings and photos you see in the paper every day. The handling of type and cuts is the job of the makeup man, while the page editor indicates to him what she wants. Reading the type upside down and backwards, he sees a reverse image of what will be the final printed page, and may even catch an overlooked
that's
error.
not gonna look as bad as I thought. We'll let it go for and these two are coming, sorry. What's this thing? Money?
feeling in pain. Others, you had others in there.
Oh, others with an S. Yeah, they had an S.
And what you do, give it out again. That's the bad S.
An S?
Only 14 minutes to go. Everyone feels the urgency. Pages are nearing completion. Makeup's tighten keys to bring type and cuts closely together. This keeps pieces from falling out when forms are moved off the stones. This page is about done.
This one is going to say, this one's going to say rescue workers
Milling around.
an ice cream truck after, and then it's going to say it exploded in Lower Manhattan yesterday.
Almost finished.
All we need is this one.
The editor. Trucks, trains, and planes must be met to rush the paper to the city, to the country, and to the world. Now this one is our last one to close. Is page 1.
Okay, on one.
On time. And now a work break, and also a party for old-time linotype operator Albert Tangway.
Over 49 years being a member of the composer room, a senior member on the priority list. The number one man on the priority list.
How do you feel about this changeover, Mr. Dangway?
Well, I feel that they call it progress, but as far as I'm concerned, it is not. I would like it to stay the way it was, you know? Keep the old machine running.
How long have you worked here?
One short of 49 years.
How old are you?
75 and a half.
75 and a half. Are you retiring tonight?
Yeah.
This is the last time you'll be up
That's the
here?
last time.
No, that's one day. Let's have a drink on it.
I'm glad I had so many good friends.
This worker chalks up his sentiments. End of an era. Good while it lasted. Crying won't help.
I find it very sad, very sad. I've learned the new stuff, the new processes and all, but I've been a printer now for 26 years. I've been in this place for 20 years. 6 years apprenticeship, 20 years journeyman. And these are words that aren't just tossed around. They've always meant something to us printers. I hate to see it. It's inevitable that we're going to go into computers. All the knowledge I've acquired over these 26 years is all locked up in a little box now called a computer. And I think probably most jobs are going to end up the same way.
Computers are a good idea in general?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. They're going to benefit everybody eventually. How long it will take, I don't know.
Carefully, back on the stone for changes by the news department for the late city edition. A galley of new type for a late-breaking story is proofed up to be read for accuracy. Corrections are checked. Lines with errors are replaced by corrected lines.